A woman and her newborn baby had been adrift at sea for 3 days and 3 nights, their only shelter being a sinking shipping container. She casually tossed a baby diaper into the ocean, which quickly attracted several fish. She quickly made a makeshift fishing tool, but catching fish wasn't as easy as she'd imagined. Just as she was about to despair, she suddenly saw a passenger plane overhead. Excited, she ran back into the container to find a piece of glass, but on her way back, she accidentally cut her thigh. Ignoring the pain, she immediately got up and called for help, but the distance was too great for the people on the plane to see her. To prevent infection, she disinfected the wound with strong liquor and then stitched it up with earphone wire. The excruciating pain almost made her faint. To catch fish and replenish her nutrition, she wove a simple fishing net from the earphone wire, placed it in the sea, added a diaper as bait, and then waited patiently for the fish to bite. After waiting anxiously for several minutes, a fish finally fell into the trap, and she was able to enjoy a hearty meal. As the days passed, she had stored up a considerable amount of food. To escape danger as quickly as possible, she wrote hundreds of notes pleading for help, then placed them one by one into a plastic box. She then threw all the boxes into the sea, hoping someone would find them soon. She regularly drained the water with a pipe. Otherwise, if the box filled with water, it would sink to the bottom, and she worried about the baby getting cold. She put strong liquor in a thermos and lit it to warm the baby. Because her phone screen was damaged and she couldn't unlock it, she could only wait for her husband to call. But that night, her husband suddenly sent devastating news saying he had been shot and was in critical condition, possibly unable to save her. She cried and told her to be strong and live on. The woman was heartbroken, but she didn't complain. Instead, she told her husband about giving birth to the baby, then asked him to say some comforting words to the baby, and named the baby Noa Noa. Then the phone ran out of battery and the two lost contact completely. A few days later, the water level had risen to its highest point, and she had to prepare for the worst. She made a small raft out of planks and plastic boxes, so that if the container sank to the bottom of the sea, they could drift on the raft for a while. Soon after, the appearance of a seagull gave her hope, because the presence of seagulls meant that they were not too far from land. But their good fortune didn't last long. That night, the sealing strip used to plug the leak suddenly came loose, and seawater rushed into the container at an alarming rate. As she tried to retrieve the stored food, she got her foot tangled in a rope. Desperate, she dove underwater and cut the rope. After a great struggle, she finally escaped. But when she surfaced, her baby was nowhere to be found. She shouted loudly at sea, attracting the attention of a whale. The whale deliberately sprayed water on the baby, who cried out in fright. The woman then located the baby and swam quickly to her. Thankfully, the baby was safe, and the whale turned and left. They drifted at sea all night. Knowing she had done her best, the woman held the baby's hand and said some words of reluctance. Seeing seagulls appear, she took out the fish from the box, quickly attracting a flock of seagulls. Just then, a fishing boat passed by and noticed the seagulls' unusual behavior, so they quickly steered the boat over and rescued the baby onto the fishing boat. Following the rope, they found the woman, but she was already on the verge of death. Fortunately, the kind fisherman did not give up, and after a period of rescue efforts, finally brought the woman back to life. It is hard to imagine that a woman had been adrift at sea for a whole month and survived with her baby through sheer willpower. One has to admire the great power of maternal love.